Hello there, I'm Chef Joe Rigo. Today we're going to be preparing a lovely, lovely, lovely dish. It's going to be lamb meatballs cooked in marinara sauce, and then it's going to be finished off with a little bit of dollops of ricotta. Let me get started first in making my meatballs, my lamb meatballs. And basically, I'm going to throw some gloves on here. So I got the ratio of the lamb meatballs is about 80% of ground lamb and about 20% of ground beef. And basically why I add the ground beef in there is because I really don't want that strong gaminess of the lamb, so I'm going to add a little bit of about 80-20 ground beef to cut the gaminess of the lamb. So I'm going to add my lamb in there. And my ground beef, remember again, about 80 to 20, 80% of lamb and 20% of ground beef. I'm going to add my spices, which is about a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of allspice, and a touch of cumin to give it that kind of Middle Eastern flavor to the meatballs. I'm going to add my sauteed red onions and garlic. Of course, you always want some garlic in there. Then I'm going to add a touch of salt, just like so. A little bit more. There we go. Now I'm going to add my fresh herbs, which is chopped rosemary and fresh thyme. Just like so. I'm going to add a couple of eggs. Great. And they're almost ready to be rolled around into little meatballs. A little bit of breadcrumbs in there. And now I'm going to give it a nice swirl around with my hands. Just like so. Until it's well incorporated and ready to go. Oh yeah, that's starting to look really, really good. There we go. It's ready to go. So now I'm going to turn on my cookware kitchen charm on medium to high heat. And I'm not going to use any sort of oil, olive oil, butter, nothing, absolutely nothing. That's the lovely thing about using the cookware, is that it's a greaseless and waterless cookware. So I'm going to let that heat for about, I would say about 3 to 4 minutes till it's nice and hot, and then I'm going to show you exactly how to tell how the cookware is ready to cook. So I got my meatballs over here working. All right. I would say about 1 inch diameter round. About yay so. And one more. I think that's going to do it. All right, let's see if the water is ready to go into the pan and see if it beads around and has a little party right in there. Let's try it out. Oh yeah, I see that. Look at that. It's beating around. That means it's ready to go. And I can't wait to cook these lamb meatballs right in this pan. Okay, here we go. And of course, we're not going to use any sort of oil or grease because it's a greaseless pan. All right. I can start to smell the aromas of the fresh herbs, spices, and lamb. Look at that. It doesn't even stick to the pan. You're going to get a nice brown color on all sides. Okay. Look at that. Look at that browning. Woo! Baby, we're cooking now. There we go. Beautiful. You see the natural oils of the lamb is actually starting to come out. And that's exactly what we want. All right, so now I'm going to move the lamb meatballs to this side. I'm going to put the lamb balls on timeout, right to the side. All right, I'm going to take my onions and slice them. Just like that. Woo, I can hear there's a party in there. All right, just like so. I'm going to take the onions. Just put them right in there just like this. This is really starting to smell lovely. Take the onions, give it a little swirl. Okay, timeout is ready. You've been a good boy, little meatball. Let's get back into these beautiful onions. There we go. Now I'm going to take a little bit of fresh basil leaves, and I'm not even going to cut them. I'm just going to rip them just like Grandma used to do. Look at that. Oh, I smell that basil in there. I'm going to take a little bit of salt, add a little bit more salt to those onions, just like so. Love the sound of the sizzling of the meatballs, onions, fresh basil, just everything together is really coming together really, really nicely. Now I'm going to add the whole peeled tomatoes that have been crushed by my own hands and add it to the meatballs. One nice chunky there. I like my marinara sauce kind of chunky. It gives it a little bit more texture to it, and that's what I like. Look at that. All right, so now I'm going to put the lid with a ready dip valve open. I'm going to continue to cook on medium to high until it calls me. Once it calls me, I will shut that valve and cook for an extra 20 minutes and we'll be ready to go. Are you whistling at me? Thank you so much. Right back at you. Look at that. It's ready to shut my valve. The smells are just wonderful. So I'm going to shut my valve now and let it cook for an extra 20 minutes and it will be ready to go. Make sure that the valve is completely closed and that you lower your heat to about medium to low, 20 minutes, just like I said. All right, so let's check these lamb meatballs, see if they're ready. And they sure are ready. So I'm going to plate them. Take a little bit of the sauce right into the bottom of this bowl we have here. I like the consistency of the sauce. It's nice, vibrant red with some beautiful caramelized onions. Look at that, beautiful. I'm gonna take 1 and 2 and 3 meatballs. Nice serving, just like that. Fantastic. I'm going to take a little bit of the fresh ricotta, put that right in the middle, just like that. Add a little bit of grated Parmesan Reggiano. You can use Grana Padano as well. The only difference between Grana Padano and Parmesan Reggiano is the aging. Grana Padano is sort of like the baby Parmesan Reggiano. It's aged for 6 months, and Parmesan Reggiano is aged anywhere from 12 months to 24 months. And I'm going to finish with a little bit of chopped parsley, just like that. And there you go. My name is Chef Joe Rigo. I'm here in the kitchen for Dinner for Two by Kitchen Charm, and life is delicious.